Hey guys, it's your boy John here. I just want to leave a little message saying that I know it's been a while since we posted an episode, and that's probably a little weird, and I just want to say sorry about that. There is no big problem. Me, Brian, and Neve all doing pretty good. I played that Kirby game, thought that was quite good. Neve beat Elden Ring. Brian, I'm sure Brian is also doing fine, but it's like there's been a ton of just constant little interruptions and like things going wrong that mean we've had to push back the date back and back and back. Things like holidays, wedding, work stuff, sickness. We'll explain it all the next episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know everything's cool and that we will be back sooner rather than later. Like, all going according to plan. We're going to be recording the next episode very soon. So that is coming, but I just wanted to put this out in the meantime and let you all know it's all good. We're totally fine, and we'll be back before you know it. So in the meantime, enjoy this little best of episode. Okay, guys, thanks. We really all appreciate the patience, and we hope all of you are doing just fantastic. And I will see you soon, guys. The Nameless King out. Do you ever shit so hard and fast that like all the heat goes out of your body and then you're just freezing?
We are recording.
Fuck!
No, John, should we talk about the red TK lemonade?
Okay, sure. Brian, why don't you explain the story from your perspective?
John invited me over to his house his home in December to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Played a couple of games.
We were having a great time, I'd say.
I'm a sore loser when it comes to Smash Bros. And Mario Kart.
How would you describe I am when you're a sore loser, Brian? Am I goading you at all?
You're being a saucy pup.
I'm not at all.
He's being a cheeky cheddar. He's being a sneaky sausage, and he's being a poo in the toilet.
Okay, and who did you main?
I'd like to play as Pac-Man, and he likes to play as King K. Rool, and that's a shitty matchup for Pac-Man.
Really, Neve, there's several characters I can main, but I suppose that's besides the point a little bit.
If I play as Corrin, I can ice him.
Why didn't you?
Because I like playing as Pac-Man.
Okay.
He's cool.
No, I understand. Sometimes you you love the worst.
He shits out a fire hydrant. I don't know why. Why? What does that mean? So I brought over some of my Southern Comfort, and I brought over my red TK lemonade, and that's my mix of choice. And I was drinking my special blend.
I should mention, red TK lemonade, not easy to get.
No, not easy at all, John. Huh? And so I'm drinking my drink, and John's drinking his beers or whatever. But you know, I give him some of mine to drink, and then baby keeps wanting more. John, do you want to take it up?
Well, it's not really that I wanted more. It's just as the night wore on, I noticed how protective Brian was over his red TK lemonade, and I just thought that was kind of interesting. And Brian, as he mentioned, can be a little bit of a salty loser, and so he kept wanting to play more matches. And I was like, okay, Brian, I'll give you another match, but if I win, I would like half a glass of red TK lemonade.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And Brian said, okay, but you have to drink it. I don't know why he said that, but it got me curious. And so I said, no, it's my red TK lemonade. I'll do whatever I please with it. And so we proceeded to play the match. And at this point, Brian was what we call on tilts. He was not playing his best because he had gotten very emotional.
I was an angry boy.
And he lost. And the problem is, when Brian gets very emotional, he immediately wants to play another game. He also growls a lot. He'll make a lot of noises like...
It's mooing.
Yeah, do you ever hear like a twomp from Mario where they go like...
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played Shenmue with him.
Yeah, it's that. And so, to me, the only logical progression was to ask him for more TK Red Lemonade. So we played
Red TK lemonade.
Red TK
Say
lemonade.
It properly.
Red TK lemonade.
Do you have to import that from Cork?
No, that's Tenora. That's different.
Okay.
Okay. So we played a couple more games, and
They sell it in the Spar down the road. It's actually very easy to get.
they didn't go great for Brian.
No.
And so at the end of it, I had an entire glass full of red TK lemonade, and we said goodbye, and Brian was a little bit upset. And I knew he was upset, and I knew he was worried about his lemonade. So, tell you what, we'll upload this video maybe to the Instagram or something at one point, but this was the video I sent him the next morning. Would you like to see it, Neve?
Yes, more than anything in the world.
Now, I gotta say, as the new John, that is not something I would do now. That was very mean. Brian, I want to formally apologize to you on this podcast for doing it.
I was crying.
Yeah, I know. We might edit that into the YouTube version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I'll be doing. I will do that, and maybe we'll upload it to Instagram.
I think if you upload it online without any context,
I think
a
that-
day
I-
or two before we publish this episode, even better.
You know what? I think I might do that. But yeah, that's the red lemonade story.
So you kept that lemonade in the fridge overnight so you could dump it in the morning and record yourself doing it because you knew it would hurt Brian.
Yes, Neve.
Okay.
I replied with mash keyboard like letters. Like
Yeah, no, I got a string of like M's and G's and Y's
and like
L's.
and like a fuck, like FUK, fuck. Not happy.
I had a wonderful night.
Wish I loved a drink as much as Brian loves his orange.
See, I think like the way I used to be would be like Brian would get me so often, but he has these like tiny little weak spots, and very occasionally I can just get a needle in and just twist them. I'm not like that anymore. I would never do anything to hurt my friends now.
John, this year I'm gonna get you so good. Actually, no. The fucking... Well, how about we save the birthday present for a different time?
Yeah. That was this year's birthday present?
Well,
Because you've gotten me a couple... Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
You guys are so weird.
Brian, I shouldn't say this on the podcast. I have a story, and it can never make air, but you'll enjoy it.
Okay. Also, that photo I sent you of my dad with the wrapping paper.
Oh,
but
man,
that's
yeah, that
that's
was
that's
crazy.
something else.
Guys.
Never mind.
I think we're getting too far into
Yeah.
this relationship.
This is deep lore. Enough of the dick stuff. Let's move on.
Neo.
There's been, Neve, what I would say, a surprisingly small amount of dick stuff in me and Brian's
This is
relationship.
a very sweet and innocent relationship.
I don't know what boys do.
You tie them together. All the boys listen to this know what I'm talking about.
The old finger trap.
But I think one of my favorite things that happened over the course of the con was I played Secret Hitler. Have you ever heard of this, Neve?
No, gotta explain this.
Okay, so
John, be careful now because it does have the word Hitler in it.
Yeah.
I know it has the word Hitler and fascist, and I was like, when was this fucking game made? Because like, you can't joke about that, man. I used to love a good Nazi joke back in the day. Fucking can't do that shit anymore because they're real again.
John, could you tell us your favorite Nazi joke on the podcast?
Okay.
Oh, John, that's about Secret Hitler.
Okay. No. Real quick. I named my cat Blitzkrieg, but that was not really a joke. But that was because I just thought it's a cool word. But now Nazis came back, and I can't call him that anymore. So I just called Bert.
Blitzkrieg was the nickname for the German Air Force during World War II, is it?
Blitzkrieg was a tactic that
it's
the
a
German Air
tactic.
Force used.
Yeah.
I named my pet rat Bismarck. He was a U-boat.
We've totally been
Yeah,
here before. in
we've
this
been here.
conversation. Anyway, yeah, so Secret Hitler. The way it works is, so we were playing with about 8 people, and the rules change depends on how many people are playing, but when it's 8 people, I think it's... so you all close your... You have to, like... You all get dealt a card, and it shows you're, like, whether you're a liberal or a fascist.
Oh my god, this game is... Okay.
Neve,
That's so black and white.
Yeah, okay.
Neve, I have ordered this game, and we're going to play it.
Sweet.
Yep. And so then, anyway, everyone closes their eyes, and the people who are fascists all have to open their eyes, and they get to see who each other are. Then, but not all of them, one of them keeps their eyes closed, and that person is Hitler. And it's the fascist job to get Hitler elected into office.
Oh.
And so then you all open your eyes
Oh, no.
and say if
Okay.
you're a liberal,
Yeah.
you don't know who's fascist and who's liberal. So you're trying to figure out who your allies are and who's not. And there's like all these little subtleties. So like basically the way it works then is that there's all these, you pick 3 cards from a deck. And so say I'm the president.
Okay.
I have 3 cards. Some of them might be liberal, some of them might be fascist. And so say I get 2 liberal and 1 fascist. Then I have to give them to you, Neve. This might get a little complicated, but I'm going to try my best. And then you get to put one through. You get to decide which one goes through. And it's like first to 5 on the liberal cards and the fascist cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
But say I'm a fascist. I'm like, okay, I'm going to discard the liberal card and slide you over 2 fascist cards. And you'll be like, what the fuck? Now I have to put down fascist. And I have to be like, got 3 fascists. Don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I see.
Or
So it's a game of the seat and lies.
maybe you're a fascist. And I slide over you a liberal card and a fascist card, and you put the fascist card down, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I gave you a liberal and a fascist," and you're like, "No, you didn't."
I'm not sure you did.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's. And then there's all these little.
This sounds fun because I love lying.
There's so much lying.
I
in this
love
game.
telling lies.
But then there's all these little nuances. Like the more fascist cards go down, the more crazy things get, because then you can start to ask like, okay, I want to see if you're a liberal or a fascist, and they have to hand you an envelope with which one they are in it. You open it up and you look at it, and so Rachel, a girl I was playing with called Rachel, she asked to see whether I was a liberal or a fascist, and not only was I a fascist, I was fucking Hitler. And she just, and she's not allowed to show the card to anyone, and so she just saw it and she goes, "John's a fascist. John's a fascist." And I was like, fuck, and then I was like, "No, I'm not. You're a fucking fascist." And I was like, that is insane. I'm actually a liberal and she is a fascist. And she had no way of proving to people that I was fascist, and it was really...
And you're a very good liar.
I'm a very good liar. And there was a part... It was so much fun like that. It does kind of fuck you up, because like, we played this game for like 3 hours, and by the end of it, someone would be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink," and I'd be like, "Would they? Are they?" But the best round of it by far that we played was me and Wooly fucking went at each other, because I was a liberal and I knew he was a fucking fascist. I could just tell. But then he was the exact same way with me. He was like, "You're a fascist," and this was like 30-40 minute game, and all the way through I could see him manipulating and turning the wheels and just turning everyone against him. Then it comes down to the final play of the game, and neither of us are fascists. We were both liberals, and like the quiet girl next to me, Wooly's fiance, she was Hitler, and we couldn't believe it. And like I said it to Wooly after, it was like getting to chapter 6 of a JoJo stand battle, only to realize that neither of us had stands. And like that round shocked us so much that like I had to step away from the table and just hold my head in hands, because like you get so sure about who's your enemy and who's your ally, and when that gets flipped in the final round, you cannot fucking believe it. And it is so much fun. Literally ordered it this morning. It's going to be here soon. We're going to play.
What's the minimum player?
I think the minimum players is 4.
Cool.
And I think the maximum is 11.
That's good.
And I think 8 or 9 is kind of the sweet spot.
Let's do this.
But yeah, it was really, really cool.
Game over.
Do you guys want to talk about Secret Hitler?
No.
Nope.
Why?
We've gotten into it before, but I felt like that game... We recently played a game of Secret Hitler. I was very excited. I ordered a box of Secret Hitler because I wanted to play it with my nearest and dearest. Let me tell you, we weren't so fucking dear by the end of 2 hours of Secret Hitler. That was vicious. And Neve, I know you don't think it was because you have weird emotional problems, but things got weird.
I don't think it did at all. I was like, this is fun and normal.
I always knew Neve was a nasty person. I never really knew.
No, you don't. You never do until lies are encouraged. But it was so scary playing with Neve, because I feel like with Neve, I feel like I could be a fascist and Neve should be a fascist. If that sentence was alarming to you, please go look up the rules of Secret Hitler. And I would still worry about Neve fucking me over. You know? Like, she's too much of a wild card like that.
I played the game fair. Me and Michelle at the start knew what we needed to do, and we did it. We just execute a plan well.
I just remember coming to the end of that, and like, you know when you can't get out of the game and you're still doubting everybody? I had that. Did you have that at all, Brian?
I did. For me, it was just the fact that we'd play a couple games in a row and you'd forget which game you were in. Mm-hmm. Apparently, another way to play Secret Hitler is that you all move spaces each turn. So that way the game feels fresh again. That's
a really good idea, because you do like assign identities to people.
Yeah. Like, we had the nasty couch. We had the nice floor. We had...
You were on the floor.
Yeah, I was nice.
I was also nice.
Yeah. I think what
Guess
happens
who was on the
is
couch?
Two guys go into a game being like, I can read people. I am so good at reading people. And then they can't read people. And then they're like, oh no, my worldview, it's shattered. Because I think that's what happened.
I'm going to read you so hard next time. I'm going to read you like the fucking
book
you
are. I think
are.
after your first game of Secret Hitler, you know pretty much how much you can read someone or not. Like,
that is true.
I think that fantasy did not last one round into the first game I played of that game.
I felt it was the same as playing Monopoly.
I'm sure you did, Neve, but you, like, I'm gonna restate what I said earlier in the conversation. You have weird emotional problems.
It is true.
She's a stone cold fucking killer.
An absolute fucking killer. Every day, me and Brian are just so terrified that she's gonna reach out and snuff out our lives.
We are surrounded by cables right now. She could easily choke a bitch out and then fucking and then make the other one look at it, like look at the body and go, "You did that."
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mum.
I kind of like that as a series, just how different they all are.
Yeah, they're all a different
the idea
genre.
That's like an anthology. Was there any more besides Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield?
There's a third one, the sci-fi
Yeah, the
one.
Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah, the space station one.
Yeah, I never heard anything about that.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, people didn't. I enjoyed it, but they put Elizabeth Debicki, I think that's how you say her name, in it.
Yes.
And she's like tall.
Oh no.
She's so tall in Tenet.
She's so tall. It's so
like,
good.
Like in Tenet, she's way taller than all the other male actors, and they all have to get up on their tippy toes to kiss her on the cheek. It's really, really good.
It's fantastic. Anyway, they find this tall woman in the wall of a space station, and it was very, very good.
Remember the tallest person I ever encountered, and it did like freak me out. It was this like woman in a Duns, and she was just working there, and I had to ask her a question, and she was like down doing something on one of the lower shelves, and she stood up, but it was like she unfolded and like towered, I swear to God, like maybe 2 to 3 feet above me. Like it was, I was like, oh, and I could feel like some part of my like lizard brain being like, run John, a predator. Like that's how much taller than me she was.
Oh, if that happened to me, I'd be like, climb, Neve, climb.
You see, I think at like a foot or 2 foot, that's where my brain is, but like above that, I was like, what is this?
It's very surreal when you're like walking along the footpath and you see someone walking towards you and you get closer and you realize that perspective's been playing a trick on you and they're like extremely tall and your brain kind of goes, wait, what?
Yeah, it's disorientating in a way I find so confusing.
Yes. The human mind, what are we?
What are we?
Okay, so I've got one here ready to go.
Okay.
And I thought this was a fun one.
Brian, you were very excited about this one.
Oh, it's just a cute one. Honestly, just tootin'. Let me find it first. Oh my god, where is it? There it is. No. Yes. Okay. This is from Tay. Fun question, 90s style, let's fight a boss action figures. Okay. Hey Patchy the Wolf.
Hello?
Deep Voice Man. I assume that's me. And Symmetrical Flannel.
Sure, yeah. Isn't all flannel? Never mind.
Yeah. Thank you for the countless hours of entertainment and knowledge. Yeah? You sure about the knowledge? Like, there's so many actuallys we get in the comments. So I don't know about that. Okay. The podcast has definitely helped mold my creativity as well as discover interesting art and media. Well, I guess we do recommend stuff. On to the question, since you lot are a busy bunch. Yes, we are. A toy company approaches the Bosscast and offers to manufacture a limited run of 90s style action figures akin to Action Man or even Barbie. They're like 6-inch action figures.
They're big, yeah.
Yeah.
How about we go like 3-4 inches? You know, like something you can play with one hand. You know.
You're thinking more like Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yes,
Turtles?
absolutely. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, early 90s action figure. Okay. What would each of you like for your action figure in terms of, okay, and so we have a couple of springboards here. Aesthetics, special features, weird urban legend, shocking thing like Mario, like Lego Mario calling out for Luigi, and the most important factor, the price.
Is this the kind of thing where we should do it for each other instead of ourselves?
I think that's fun. Yeah, I think that's more fun. Okay, so the John toy. Okay, first of all, it is not wrapped down into the box, so it rattles and bounces inside the like plastic casing and the cardboard backing,
Something about that feels appropriate.
and like you're pissed.
Oh yeah.
And it comes with 2 heads, an angry face and an angrier face. And you're wearing a white t-shirt and you're wearing black jogging short or black sweatpants.
But they're just painted on. It's not material-based clothes.
God damn it.
And I really, really want like the thickness of the neck and the paint job around the neck look real extra. Like I want it real good. Also, it's a bit like a Street Shark where like the upper half is like thicker than
It's
the
really
lower
big, and the legs are kind of bent, and your butt's kind of out like this.
Can I get
Like he's doing a poo
can I
squat.
get like the rubbery skin of a street shark?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, and so see, I see now I've got to lean into the Street Shark. I want to be able to pull back the fin, and you go you know, like a Pez. What accessories would he have?
Little ghosts.
Yeah, a bunch
Little
of
ghosts.
little ghosts. Would he have like a microphone or a notebook?
He would have his little notebooks.
Yeah.
You don't know about my notebooks.
No one knows about the little notebooks. A little diary to write all his feelings in.
God damn it.
And like,
I shouldn't have
it's
talked
actually
about
like
that.
the diary's really well modeled. It has individual
little
pages,
writing in it.
and like you can like some of them are blank, but other ones say they were mean to me today, like, stuff like that.
And just a steak, like a raw steak.
Yeah,
I did have very rare steak today.
yeah. I want like a big Fred Flintstone looking steak with like the
yeah.
T-bone in it. You can put up against your eye.
This sounds great.
Actually, it'd be cool if one of your faces had a black eye, so you could like comes with T-bone steak because he was in an altercation that
I mean, it happens.
yeah.
I want to do my own.
Okay, go for it, Neve.
Fuck all you.
Sure.
I want to be just a Barbie doll, but you cut her hair to give her a short haircut to make it Dyke Barbie, and like it's just kind of all sticking up really badly, like when you cut a Barbie's
It's like a
hair.
botch job.
So it has long flowing locks, but it comes with instructions on
To
where to
give it
cut.
a bad haircut.
But then when you cut it, it
it
just
called, like-
doesn't
Yeah,
look.
it does not lie right
It's
at
called
all.
like Butch My Barbie. But it's in the font, like it says Butch, but in the Barbie.
Perfect. And she has a flannel shirt as well, and she comes with with her boots, but like they're just boots to like repurposed off like
Action Man.
Action Man.
Comes with a bunch of military shit.
Yeah, just military Barbie that you cut her hair, give her a bad haircut. And like rub on tattoos. Like
Oh,
she
hell
has
yeah.
like
Yeah.
water slide tattoos that you put on her.
It's
I think
cool
would
that
be
you
gay.
put them on her. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can just like give.
Has she got like phrases on the back? If you press or do a button you press?
Yeah, she has some like key phrases like
Final Fantasy X is good.
Final Fantasy X is good, guys. Elden Ring.
All the classic Neve podcast phrases.
Oh shit, what else do I say?
Here's the bad side of my compliment sandwich.
Bo Burnham, more like Boo Hoo Burnham. It's like it ages terribly.
Stop crying, John and Brian.
Yeah. Check my letterboxd. Lots of stuff. I will fight you verbally.
Yeah, and she has a mechanized dog that she can ride into battle.
That sounds great.
That's cool.
Okay, so for Brian, I would say between 4 and 9 different baseball cap accessories.
Oh,
Yeah, but what is it? I think it should be a hand puppet.
Oh, I'd love to be a hand puppet.
So it's just like
That's not
mostly
really-
a mouth.
I mean,
with hats.
we can do that. But
Oh, it's not really a toy.
you see, how do you package that?
A boglin?
yeah, there we go. Woo!
So a boglin with lots of caps.
Yeah, for sure.
I would put a lot of Brian's snackies in there.
Oh yeah, yummies.
I get some onion rings.
Hey, you like onion rings too. Every year for your birthday. Hey, we never told that Johnny onion ring story, and we will.
Which story
The
was
one
that?
for your birthday where he wrapped it up in 20 wrapping things of wrap, and he put it in a box that said caution, and you were like really like, oh, and it turned out to be onion rings. Okay, I want Reese's Pieces. I want Tesco onion rings. They're the best. Pepsi Max, please.
And like, because it's a boglin, it doesn't have a hole in its mouth, but this is all real food, so you just kind of smush it into the mouth and make a mess. And because it's a boglin, it also kind of has a scratch and sniff smell kind of stuff.
I also think we should
yeah.
get a voice box in there. I know Boglins didn't have voice boxes, but I feel like you could slip all those Brian zingers in there.
It could be like, you want me to talk into this microphone? That could be one of them. You'd be like, are we done yet? Let me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit this one out, guys. Like, just real humdingers.
And it's free. You find it on the floor.
I don't want
Yeah.
to play that.
I'm not playing that. Square Enix, no thanks. Okay, yeah. So I'm free. How much is yours? You're like €80.
Oh yeah, mine's a Barbie price.
Okay.
Like you got a Butch Barbie.
How about yours? Like a hot toy. Like it's like fucking
It's 200,
Yeah.
€240 for some slide-on tattoos and your fucked up haircut
But
doll.
on the outside of the box it says like 1 of 5,000 or
Yeah.
something. Like it's gotta be exclusive. John's is
Unfortunately, they printed like a massive excess of mine and dramatically overthought demand, and so it's like $2 each.
sold real well in Christmas '92.
I bought like 20 of them because I thought that would like help somehow, and it just didn't. And I just owned 20 of them myself. And if you open one of my closets, it's just 20 dolls of me.
Sometimes you give them to presents to your friends and they're just like, oh, thanks.
But it's too sad, so you can't like complain. Oh,
Anyway, I just really like that email. I just thought that was a good
that
question.
was a good email.
Thank you, Tay the sheepdog.
Thank you, Tay. It's cool that dogs listen to us.
Yeah.
Patreon drop.
Patreon shoutouts. Do not edit any of that, Oni.
You know, okay, here's the thing. I know we're out of the Mario Odyssey discussion, but when I was in one of the levels, I don't own any amiibos. One of the characters says to me, hey, have you an amiibo? And I was like, fucking no. And then one later on was like, hey, scan your amiibo.
Just use one of your amiibo.
But I don't have any, and I'm not going to buy an
What do you
amiibo.
mean?
Just go to GameStop, get an amiibo, bro.
Just go to your amiibo. No, sorry. I'll
But
explain
if that
to you.
was in any other game, scan your thing you bought.
Neve, just go to your
People
amiibo
would be
shelf,
pissed.
open the case, and then just use whichever one you like.
I don't know how they've managed to scam people into thinking this is okay.
Okay, how many Mario amiibos do you have?
Like none. I don't own any amiibos. I think they're
You-
really
literally
ugly
not
figures.
not making any sense to me at all.
Disney Infinity were
I've got my
beautiful.
pixel art Mario up there.
Compared
That
to
was
just use one of
cute.
your Zelda ones then.
I was like, this is so fucking no. Like 3 characters. Were
How
like,
many of
scan
my
your
Mewtwo?
amiibo.
How many of my Mewtwo amiibos would you like to borrow?
I don't want to borrow any amiibo. I would like to try an amiibo like once, but I never.
They're
gonna
not
buy-
bad. I don't
Yeah.
think they're terrible figures.
I think they're
I-
fine depending on the character they're doing. When it's a
There's
simple
some bad
shape,
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but then when it's a more complicated, like at that scale, it does not look good.
I don't think I've ever used the amiibos in Mario Odyssey.
No, me neither.
I use them in Splatoon to unlock some costumes because I've got like 12 amiibos now, but they're of select favorites. And
You have 12? Holy
yeah,
shit.
they're up there on the shelf. Okay, so we've got Pixel Mario, King DDD, Kirby,
Got Soft Yoshi.
Soft Yoshi from Yoshi's Woolly World. We've got Dr. Mario. We have Splatoon, Boy, Girl, and Inkling. We have Callie and Mari from Splatoon also, and we have Marth from Fire Emblem. That's approximately 10 amiibo.
So, yeah.
And Rob from the Famicom. But,
There you go, Neve. Just use your Rob one.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't like Rob in Smash Brothers, but I do love the Famicom color palette.
I don't mind that you can use an amiibo, but I hate when the game breaks its own gameness by telling me to use an outside thing.
Well, he's Uncle Amiibo. Makes
It wasn't just Uncle Amiibo, who's a little Roomba ass thing. It was also another robot who asked me if I had an amiibo, and
But they're
if I didn't
robots.
have one, I should get one. And that message stayed up on screen way too long.
weird, really.
Robots are self-aware, Neve.
Yeah.
I
Is
really-
that not like what Nier Automata is about, though?
fucking fuck off.
He got you there,
Oh
Neil.
my god, just shut up.
You're so selective about what you like and don't like.
Oh, the Nier Automata robots are so cool because they're self-aware. But when the Amiibos get self-aware in Mario Odyssey, I don't like that.
I like when
Jesus
they break.
Christ, Neve.
I really like when they break the fourth wall, but it's on my terms, and I don't like Mario. I like my anime girl. Isn't that right, Neve?
Yeah.
She's got nice legs. Is that what you like about her?
You're so gross, Neve.
Oh my god.
Such a
You're
dog.
gonna make me cry.
Fucking hounding over those girls. Lock up your daughters. Neve's out. Sorry, Neve. That was me. Way too mean.
Now I hate Amiibos more.
You're not gonna like your Christmas
you know what
presents.
Nier Automata basically is? It's just a game full of Amiibos. You play as Amiibos, you fight Amiibos. That's what that game is.
Yeah, it's just about Bitcoin or some shit. Did you get it?
Fucking god.
I like Nier Automata. I said it right this time.
Oh, I'm paralyzed with like rage. I think this is rage, or maybe it's tears.
Neve, this is how John feels when we tease him.
This is how John feels all the time.
I'm so glad we know how to push your button.
I was going to tell you a cool thing I thought of today about Nier, but I'm not even going to share that.
No, tell us.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
go
even
on.
No,
care.
tell us.
No,
come on.
whatever.
Okay, you don't have to tell us, but you do have to tell the studio audience.
Yeah, you do.
You're going to like just make fun of me.
No.
Neve, you're wearing a Nier Automata hoodie. Come on, tell us.
I don't want to. Let's move on to the next
Okay,
news item.
here's what we'll do. We'll go completely silent until Neve tells the story.
Okay.
Okay, so A2's name could be... You're just already laughing at me.
I'm fascinated so far.
Could be to do with Shakespeare's line in Julius Caesar A2 Brute, which means you two Brutus, when Brutus assassinates Julius Caesar, and it's this thing of turning against a friend, like it's a betrayal. And A2 was betrayed by Yorha, and she's also seen as a betrayer by 2B. So like 2B's name is to do with Shakespeare, and A2 could be this as well. And I just thought that was really cool and
I
clever.
can't believe you let it bring this dumb bullshit into the podcast.
No, that's really interesting, and I'm really hoping that people uncover what 9S's name means as well, because it has to mean something.
I haven't found a Shakespearean reference to it, but I thought this is what I've been seeing, and
Could
I
be a
think
passage
it's cool.
in the Bible.
No, is nines.
It could be a passage in the Quran. We don't know.
Fucking
It's
shut up.
open to interpretation.
Jesus.
Case of nines, it's like if there's more nines in something like, say, coding or like a scientific experiment, the more nines there means it's the more probability of success. So if it's 1 9, it's 90%. If it's 2 9s, like it's 99, like, you know what I mean? So the more nines there is, the more secure something is.
Because it's the highest number before you get to 1 and
Yeah.
0, but they're low value numbers.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like he's nines, he's the hacker. It makes sense. But maybe there is also a Shakespearean thing to it.
Because what's his letter?
9S.
And what's Shakespeare? Shakespeare with an S.
How many letters are in Shakespeare?
No, what if 9S was Shakespeare cloned 9 times and combined into the one person? I think that's a better theory, honestly, Neve.
Yeah.
9 Shakespeare.
I'm woke like Yoko Taro.
Let's move on with the news.
I love watching this podcast just disappear down a black hole sometimes.
I wish we shot video of this because Neve's making this thing where
Neve's face is in such anguish.
she's pursing her lips, but they don't know where to go, so she's just sucking her cheek.
I feel like I could eat my own face out of like just
There is
sadness
the
now.
quote. That's the fucking title of the podcast. I feel like I could eat my own face.
Yeah.
But Neve, how much does the new Tomb Raider make you want to eat your own face?
a lot.
If you were okay, some rapid fire questions for each of you. If you were fighting in a game, what would be the name of your special? Or if you were in a fighting game, what would be the name of your specials?
My legs are stuck together with brown.
Oh my
Fat Fanny Supreme.
Oh.
You like that one, right?
Oh, I love all those words together. Fat, Fanny, and Supreme. Oh, thanks, Neil. That made my year. Brilliant, thank you.
No problem, right?
Okay, you're John.
I'm not,
John, you're
I'm not
John.
following that. Come on. What am I going to say?
This first one is from Jesus. These are 3 quick questions.
Awesome.
Let's start it off nice and easy. 1. How do you like your coffee?
Black as sin.
With a little bit of milk and a little bit of sugar.
I don't drink coffee. Number 2. Do you crunch your ice? I'm drinking a rum and coke, and I was crunching my ice earlier on.
Okay, can we get a little technical here? What do we mean by crunch?
When you have a drink with ice in it, do you like put it in your mouth and start chewing it like
Or
a
play
weird
with it.
animal?
No.
Yeah, me
no,
neither.
not at all.
I
No,
do.
I leave it in the glass.
Yeah,
and let
where it
melts.
belongs.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not a baby.
I like playing with my ice. I'm a baby. That's why I don't drink coffee.
Imagine if you went on a date with someone and they started crunching their ice.
Then you'd know they were sexually frustrated. Isn't that the thing? Oh, and they also
Is
tear
that
up.
the thing?
Yeah,
I'm
and-
tearing
and-
off the label of my beer bottle
Dude,
right
that's
now.
so sexually frustrated. And then people who
I
tear up
hate it when
napkins.
people say that.
Yeah.
No, because Brian, we were in a bar before and we were tearing up napkins, and this bar staff came over and she was just like, tearing up napkins is a sign that you're sexually frustrated. And we both just fucking stood there in stunned silence because we were like 19 and we didn't know what to say.
She was probably pissed off that we were making a mess that she'd have to clean up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was it. That was all it. But it was like,
But she just wanted to be snarky.
I feel like she could have just been like, "Don't do that," which would have made sense.
The whole label thing, the whole scratching your thing off your label, like what happens if you just like
You're just a fiddler.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
like
just a
fiddling.
fiddler.
What's
you have
the
a,
smallest thing that could put you off someone on a date? I like to think about dating a lot because I only ever got to go on like 2 dates.
If they were like super
Then I
rude.
got snared.
Oh no, do you know what? If they're super rude to waiting staff, because then that's how you're going to get treated in 3 months' time. That's like
Yeah.
a warning sign right there.
Interesting.
anyone who's just like rude to like staff anyways, just like
Yeah.
I don't want to be around that person. The worst date I ever went on, like about like I don't know 15 minutes in, she told me she didn't like dogs, and I was like, oh no, how do I get out of this quick?
I was the same for me, except she said Simpsons.
It's not the same.
That's more the same.
No, I share my house with a dog. I don't share my house with
I
Homer
share my
Simpson.
house with a very special collection of families. Brian, you're wearing a Simpsons t-shirt right now.
I am, and I love it because
Like what the fuck was I meant to be? Like in 6 months? Oh hey, do you want to watch Who Shot Mr. Burns? What's that? Fuck off!
But then you could be like, let me expand
Yeah,
your
let me
mind.
But they'll
your
just be
mind.
like, I don't get this.
Yeah. With the dog thing, it was just really frustrating because she's like, I'm afraid of them. It's just like all of them, just every single dog you're afraid of.
Even puppies.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're not. That's a lie.
Like
then there was
small yappy dogs can be scary, but you just tell them to fuck off.
And then there was another girl as well who told me she hated superheroes. And I didn't like superheroes much at the time, but I was like,
Well, why would you
this
hate
is
them?
enough of an indication to know this is not going anywhere.
She's not gonna like the films that come out this decade. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
She's probably very unhappy now.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I met Michelle and never went on a date again.
Woo! I don't know how I go on a date now.
Oh my god, I'd be so fucking
Like,
bad.
what do you
at
do?
it.
Do you just smile?
Oh, dating's really fun because you get to grill someone about their entire life over
Oh,
like a 2-hour period.
I'm sorry, but I'd say you're so horrible to go on like a
Yeah.
first
I
date
have
with.
had such amazing dates with people. I'm like, oh, just lay it all out. I love playing chess on a first date because then you have a mental challenge as well as
I feel
as a
so
game
bad for
challenge.
those
Yeah,
poor
those
girls.
poor girls.
Lesbian dates are weirder than straight ones, I
Yeah.
assume.
Okay,
Well, also
to all to
your
our
dates.
lesbian audience, how many times have you gotten into a chess match on your first date?
I'm sure
And
other
would you
lesbian
like
dates
to?
are like.
No, Neve, stop it. You're not meant to do that.
I'm sure they're fairly routine. Yours are broke as fuck. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, why are you fighting someone?
Well, I need to know if they're a good partner.
Okay, if fighting someone was an option on a date, I would fucking do that.
Would you do like, hey, we're gonna do? Because you know how sometimes it's like, hey, how about we do something fun like rock climbing? But you're like, let's do judo.
Well, like if there was like if we lived in an alternate universe where just fighting was a socially acceptable thing, then yeah, I'd fight like everyone all the time, constantly.
I'd like to do like archery or target practice. That'd be fun.
What are you laughing at me?
I just like if you went on a date with someone and they're like, oh, well, my fighting in this world where everyone fought, and they were like, my fighting style is crime, and they just took out a gun and put it on the table.
Let's play gun. Imagine if someone was like, I really, really enjoyed Detroit.
Oh,
Would you just be like, I don't want to even have that argument.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna go.
You see, I'd be really interested to grill someone
Yeah.
on why.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
just
dates are fun.
It's just gonna piss them off, and it's not gonna
But
go.
you don't need to have a second date.
Okay, all right, okay.
It's just like you get to meet interesting people from, like, you know, backgrounds that you would never meet before generally, and you're like, ooh, a lawyer. Wonder what a lawyer would be like. Wonder what a date with a chef would be like.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to find that out.
That's what's like super fun, like, about dating, I think, is just like trying everyone.
But then at the end you go, I didn't feel any chemistry.
Yeah, you're like, nah.
But like you know,
At the point, like, I was literally like, wait, I now have the confidence to date people. Time to get in a committed relationship for the rest of my life. And that's what happened.
I'd probably be like, you marry me. You be forever me.
That's
Help.
my only advice is no, don't do that on a date.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not okay to be like,
Yeah, I think
what's it going to be like
think it is
5
neat.
years in the future?
Yeah.
What's the long-term plan here?
I think the older you get, the probably more you can bring that out on the first date.
Oh, I'd say
You're like,
I'd
I
say,
am
I'd say
ready
it could
to
be
die.
I'd say it could be that honest. Like, I'm looking for someone for the will. Just be better with a marriage license.
I have run out of strong opponents. I need strong genetic material.
Little backy. Jesus. Okay, and then
Wait, where did this question start?
Yeah.
it was from
You
Jesus.
grunted.
Sorry, not Jesus. 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 I don't
That's
know.
maybe one of the best tangents we've ever gone on.
I don't know what you've done to us.
Okay, second movie I watched was called The Baby.
John was telling me about this. It's a real special time.
Yeah,
How evil is this baby? Is this a horror movie?
this is a horror movie.
It's a very upsetting film.
Oh,
It's a very upsetting movie.
really?
It's also from the 70s.
Should I be laughing?
Yes, you should.
Okay, good.
It's probably good to laugh. It helps ease the
Yeah.
the trouble.
I would really encourage. I love horror movie posters from the 70s. I think they're fucking insane and beautiful. Actually, Neve, could you just look up the 70s horror movie poster? I just want to get the live reaction here. Right, the 70s baby.
The Baby.
Yeah.
It came out in 1973,
1973 poster. Give it to me, Google. It's just legs akimbo. Are they legs? What goes on in this nursery isn't for kids. 3, 4, close the door. Okay, there's like, what, a sexy woman holding a teddy and then just legs hanging out of a
How
cot.
large are the legs? Neve?
Very, very large, and a very small hand with a small axe. Very good.
Okay, so this movie is about a fully grown man with the mind of a baby.
Okay.
Yep. In the original cut of this movie, the man baby had baby noises made by the actor who played him, who was also the producer of the movie. I don't know why that fact stands out so much in my mind, but it does.
Because you know it's his fetish.
That's the thing about this movie.
It was a very personal
it
movie.
definitely feels like someone's fetish. And that's what's kind of disturbing about this movie is less so the content of the film and more the implications of the people who made it. The grown man baby is overdubbed with baby noises, and it's disturbing in a way that I find difficult to quantify. The whole film looks awful, as in it has this really like molten brown look to it,
Okay.
and I don't know if it was intentional or not. If it's intentional, it's incredibly unsettling and fair play. If it's not, Jesus Christ. I don't want to give away what happens in this movie too much, but there's a couple, after a little while, basically it starts to be about a social worker who comes into contact with this family who have this. The family consists of 3 women, the mother and her 2 daughters, all of which do not seem good. They seem like bad people. And after a while, you start to wonder, is this genuinely a person with some kind of affliction, physical or otherwise? Or is this a grown man who has been traumatized into acting like a baby? And it's so fucking weird. And
there's like a kind of final reveal in the movie, and it's so fucking strange, Brian. I told you the reveal.
Yeah.
Come on, who's gonna watch a 1973 The Baby movie?
I'll drop a spoiler warning just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Sure.
Okay, so a very strange part of this movie, which makes me feel like this is definitely some fetishistic shit, is that women are constantly falling in love with this baby. It turns out all women actually want, and like, Neve, I'm sorry, you know, I believe in feminism, but all that women actually want is a giant baby to take care of.
This is second wave feminism.
That's called her husband. Fuck you, Hansel.
In this film, that's literally what these women want.
No.
Multiple women try and seduce.
They're just
Multiple
getting way too
women
maternal.
succeed in seducing this man baby. Okay? And so this caretaker, this like social worker, develops an infatuation with this baby, okay? And halfway through the film, you're like, okay, this is kind of fucking weird. Why is she like this? And then it's revealed her husband was killed in a traffic accident, which has left a gaping hole in her life, one she's trying to fill by getting custody of the giant man baby. All right?
Yeah, okay.
So then anyway, things get real murdery real fast. The family of the baby try and kill the woman, and she responds by just murdering the fuck out of all them. She literally sets up a murder trap and stabs them all to death.
Fuck.
And then she takes custody of the baby. Now get ready for this shit. In the final scene of the movie, she's like looking at the baby, and then she's like, okay, it's time, come on. And she takes him by the hand, and she takes this grown man by the hand, and he wears all these weird little baby clothes. Like, he wears like
Onesies with like hanging toes.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And like little baby shorts
Booties.
and like puffy shirts and things. It's so like a 70s well-to-do high society baby.
Is the baby wearing like a bib and a bonnet?
Yes, and like a string tie.
No.
It's horrifying. And so then anyway, she takes the baby by the hand, and the grown man crawling on the ground holds her hand and walks alongside her, and she takes him into a giant nursery. And then she was like, go on, go meet your new friend. And from the corner of the nursery out crawls a second man baby, her husband, who was in the traffic accident.
Oh my god, this is so fucked.
She's
so
been
it's-
collecting them.
Oh my god.
The baby.
Thanks for the Chaos Emerald!
Brian, tell us about Wario Land.
All right, I'll talk about the Wario Land trilogy. This is on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Yeah, like I can't play contemporary games right now. I'm not in the right headspace for it. I have to regress to games from my childhood. I need that escapism. Wario Land 1, 2, and 3 are near and dear to my heart, particularly the original. Okay, do you guys have a game where a family member... Okay, I'll tell my story first, and then tell me if you have a game like this.
Okay.
The original Wario Land game, I was one time shopping with my granny in town. Oh my god, that was a loud noise.
That was a gunshot.
Granny's gone.
Yeah, she passed away in 2008. She passed away in 2008, and I loved her dearly, Neve. Thank you. Thanks, Neve. Dealing with a lot of difficult stuff at the moment. Thanks, Neve.
Okay, WarioWare, you love it. Great.
Wario Land.
Precious man.
You really, really listen, don't you? No, go on, Land. I'm gonna simmer in this for a bit.
Stop, Brad, I'm gonna pee.
Good, you should fucking pee.
I can tell more bits about the baby.
Good girl.
John,
Something happened.
is this about you in the park again?
I don't have to tell the story. We can just skip right by it. I have nothing to gain. I have nothing to lose. I am zero sum on this, Neve. What's wrong?
You started this, and just the way you told me this story was so upsetting.
John, you're real proud of what happened.
I'm not proud of what happens.
You keep telling us about it.
I just told you to, and it's just because of my Catholic brain, where the moment I do something wrong, I feel a need to confess it and cleanse my soul.
Go bother a priest.
You're my priest, Neve.
A priest would love to hear this story. This is,
Yeah.
like the priest he'd be like, oh yeah.
He goes out to the nuns afterwards. Is like, girls, got a knee slapper for you.
You're not gonna believe this. I wonder how many Hail Marys I would get for this.
A shit ton.
Hey, yo.
John, what happened in the park?
Okay, so we can cut this out after. I'm just saying, but it was a Friday afternoon. I was going to go for a long walk in the park, about an hour and a half. I had an hour and a half podcast lined up to perfectly finish when I crossed the finish line. It was a Nextlander, and I was very excited. But around 20 minutes into this journey, my stomach starts to feel a bit odd, and I'm like, I don't like this. And so I'm like, should I turn back or should I pick up the pace? And I was like, I think I'll pick up the pace because I don't want to spoil this walk. And it was a nice day out.
John, you can't outrun the runs.
Okay.
No, you can't.
It's in the name.
You see, okay. Are you guys, do you guys ever have like a distance to travel or a bus ride to get through and it's like, oh, I kind of need to go to the bathroom. But then it's like, but you know what'll keep me occupied on this travel? Trying not to piss or shit you myself.
No.
Brian, back me up here.
You never hit the point of no return. You have to.
Well, I see. I never. Like, honestly, the amount of times I have soiled myself, counted on one hand I could. Like, in my entire life, birth to now.
When you commute, you pack and have all your fuel and stuff on a full tank, but you yourself have an empty tank.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't, Brian. It's not. I'm trying.
Okay. Look, you were hurting for a squirting.
Okay. So that's the thing. As it goes on, it starts to get worse and worse and worse, and I'm like, this is no good. This is just bad. I'm really starting to feel unwell. And the moment I feel like I hit like a critical limit where the thought, John, you might actually shit yourself, that comes in perfectly, I would say, at the point of no return. You know, the point where I am far enough away from the house that it doesn't matter if I go forward or it doesn't matter if I go backward. It's all the fucking same, you know? I have to just keep going. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to complete this walk. And at this point, I can no longer enjoy my podcast. I feel like it's nearly making me want to go more because I feel like the information going in through my ears, it's like there's not enough space for it in my body. And
Did you turn it off?
Yeah. And I start sweating real bad. And I'm like, this is really, I hate this. I really hate this. And then like the movement of my walking starts upsetting me. So I would say every 5 or 6 minutes, I have to stop in the middle of a large field and like lie down for a minute and just let my body settle. And I just lie there and I sweat. And it starts to get real, real bad. And I'm like, if there's one thing I know about myself, I am not the kind of person who shits in a park. I would not do that. Never in a million fucking years, okay?
No, you wouldn't.
What's wrong, Neve?
Just keep going. Let's get it over with.
This is our podcast. We can talk about what we want.
But it's like one of the it's like Toxic from Pokemon.
Why?
Because if your Pokemon gets the status alignment Poison, it does a set amount of damage every turn.
Oh.
But Toxic, it starts off doing less damage than Poison, but then doubles every turn to the point. And I'm taking Neve. I'm losing like 50% HP every turn at this point, and it's real fucking bad. And so like I'm in this giant field, but like the reeds are up really high, and I start looking around. I'm like, if there's no one around, maybe I can get away. And there's some fucking dopey asshole, like I'd say 30 meters behind me with his stupid fucking music on, probably listening to like U2 or some shit. And because of him, I just have to keep walking, and I can't do anything.
You can't judge this man, John. Where this story is going, you can absolutely not judge his dopey asshole.
So I keep walking, and it's real. And like this guy is watching me stop every couple of minutes and lie down, and then get up like 40 seconds later. And I'm going, and then finally I get back to like kind of civilized ground. And this is a scary point because part of me is like, no, John, run back into the reeds and just let this end. Don't keep going, because if I go back onto the road, we're talking pedestrians, we're talking cars, we're talking like it is a zero sum at that point. And I tell myself again, I am not the kind of person who shits in a park. That is not who I want to be. That is not who I want to raise my children. That is not who I want to die as, okay? So I keep going. And peace falls over my body. I feel okay. I'm actually going to make it. For a moment, I'm worried that I have shit myself, but I have not. I feel a certain sereneness. And at this point, I'm about maybe 5 minutes away from the entrance. And I'm walking, and I'm walking. And then the toxic damage hits me again for a full 99% life. And I find a little alcove just off the path that I have to like climb down into. And I look down at this spot and I think about what's about to happen. And I say, no, I am not the kind of person who shits in a park. That is not my soul. And so triumphantly, painfully, climb out of that alcove and I keep walking. But that's when my body sends me a message, and it says, John, at this minute, you are not making the decision to be the kind of person who does shit in a park or does not shit in a park. You are making the decision to be the kind of person who shits in a park or shits yourself. There is no other way around this. It doesn't matter that the entrance is 3 minutes away. There could be a toilet 3 meters in front of you. It doesn't fucking matter. This is happening right now. And you need to make a call. And so I did. I ran back into that alcove and I unleashed. I was not proud of it. What remained was abominable. But I didn't shit myself. And that's all that matters.
Well, let's begin with a weather update, everyone. It's muggy.
I'm going to guess our American listeners are going to be like, what's muggy?
How do you describe muggy?
It feels like an
Heavy?
armpit.
Yeah, it feels like you're living in an armpit.
Yeah, It's humid. Sometimes there's a breeze of wind and you're thankful for it. But for the most part, it is stanky.
Frustrating weather.
It's been muggy. I'm not sure if you guys know what that's like.
No, anyone outside of Ireland would have just no idea what that means.
Absolutely not.
No, that's a very specific Irish exclusive English word.
Yeah. People think they know. They don't know.
No.
We've recorded 100 episodes of this show. We're at the 4-year anniversary. Those 100 episodes just gone, okay, good stuff, fine. I'm fucking done with it. That's Let's Fight a Boss classic, okay? That's over. We're not doing that anymore. We are now entering the Let's Fight a Boss attitude era, okay? I'm going to be way more like vulgar and boisterous. It's going to be a lot more innuendo and like the kind of hosting and stuff like that. Neve, you're nodding. I see that's good. Brian, I just want you like smoking just constantly. You know, and just like shouting at people. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Neve, I want you to just stare into that mic and just say the most outrageous thing you can, okay? So 3, 2, 1, go.
Fuck twinks.
Okay, that's way too much. That's way too... Okay, we got to dial it back.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, this whole thing was a mistake. We're just going to return to the classic format because that was just awful.
To everybody who's part of that community, we apologize.
We're so sorry, everyone.
I'm just fucking sick of twinks.
What a disaster.
How about otters?
No, they're good. Otters are the new twinks.
Wait, what's the difference?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Neve. I don't go looking for twinks or otters right now.
An otter is a hairy twink.
Right, okay.
You know what a bear is?
Yeah, I know what a bear is.
Okay,
I saw a documentary on bears on Eurotrash before.
Okay, so so then the otter is like a streamlined version of the bear. It's
right.
more athletic version of them.
And so, okay, what's a twink then?
Hairless. Like Link from Zelda.
Hang on.
It's not all about body
hair. A twink
again.
can't be a hairless otter, and an otter can't be a twink with hair.
That's why
That's a
there's-
logical fallacy.
That's why they have different names for different classifications.
Wait, I'm a little confused here. What's a twink?
Twink is small and slender, like...
John.
Oh, no. I'm too muscular. I would be a bear. Don't think so, bro. Not hairy enough.
Smooth. I would be a bear.
No, see, I don't think you'd be a bear either.
Brian.
As a matter of fact, I don't know what you would be because you're definitely not a twink.
What's an otter?
Subsection of bear. Still hairy, but where a bear generates his power through sheer mass alone, the otter generates his power through extraordinary quickness, cunning, and skill.
Excellent. Finally,
You get your movie, John.
loot drop.
No, Patreon shoutouts.
Fuck.
Ani, please.
No. Leave it in, Ani.
Oh, that's also something we have to mention.
Yeah.
We have an editor now.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We recently... Okay, little background. At various points throughout this podcast, it's either been Neve or myself doing the editing. We've been doing that way for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think I did it once or twice, but then I said, please don't let me do it. I don't want to do it.
That has been apparent, Brian. And so the ability to get an editor like Oni has helped so much. That's Oni Dino on the Discord, I believe.
Oni Dino.
Oni Dino and Oni Dino on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Let's Fight a Boss family has grown by one. I came up with a nickname for Oni, and it's the best thing ever. And I've been so proud of it. And you guys think it's going to be shit, but it's actually not.
What is it?
The MVP of LFAB. Right?
Yeah.
It's not,
Saves
like-
us in the edit.
yeah.
Not really a nickname, but it'll do.
Neve?
Okay.
It's a title.
Fucking cut you.
It's a title, yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Also, remember last week we were talking about people who self-describe as himbo?
Yeah.
In his case, it's earned. And his a fucking loan, okay?
Does Oni Dino self-describe as a himbo?
In his Twitter profile. I saw it on the Discord.
You're a twink.
But look.
Fuck twinks.
Okay, Neve, if you could have anything you want happen this episode, what would it be?
Within the confines of what could happen in this
Of
episode?
all the things we could talk about, of all the wonderful things we could do, what would be your number one choice?
My mind is going to Brittany.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
What was that?
That was nothing.
I don't know what I would want to happen with Brittany, or
I want her to have her life back.
Me too, Brian. Me too. So hard.
Yeah.
What exactly happens? Because I haven't watched the documentary yet, but it sounds really sad.
Well, as many Britney fans have been saying for a very, very long time, it kind of seems like Britney is in a lot of distress based around a conservatorship put on her by her father when she was in not a very good place mentally.
Yeah, around 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of fans and a lot of people in Britney's life kind of feel like, well, if she's well enough to be wheeled out on stage in Vegas and do these extreme performances.
Because I've seen footage of them. She's hitting it hard.
Yeah, like
She's a full-on entertainer.
every single night, just bringing it. If she's able to do that, then why is she not able?
That's right. It's Brian's old school anime reviews. And today we're going to be talking about Initial D.
I'm so sorry, Brittany.
Okay, so what happened there is that my phone stalled out for like 2 minutes, and so I had to talk about Britney Spears, and I have all the respect in the world for that terrific young woman. But that was a bit, it was subterfuge, and now we're here, and Brian is going to tell us not about Initial D, but the deep inner gooey center of Initial D. Brian, hit it.
So people have a nickname for Brittany. They call her Initial B. But it's not about that. It's about Initial D. Let's drift into the first subject of this hit manga turned video game license. The author of which can draw cars like a motherfucker, but cannot draw faces to save his life. When you see... And, like, that's the thing. It's so hard to draw a mechanical, non-organic object. Mm-hmm. You need to draw straight lines. This guy could draw the straightest fucking line, but when it comes to the human form, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I think it's like half human, half car. It's trying to become the car. So in a way, Initial D is about a young boy living in the mountains of Tokyo, and he wants to drift, but he can't because he is not yet a car. And so he must learn to take the form of aluminium and rubber and hit those slopes hard and hit those corners tight and win Sayaki's heart.
Brian, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
That was tight!
How are you feeling about this episode, Neve?
Positive.
I would imagine you'd have to feel positive.
2 bodies deep.
Well, I just think your least favorite section cannot happen because we did it last time.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
You're off the hook.
And so
Yeah, people felt really bad for me, which is nice.
Yeah, they should have. That was really mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing that bad that can happen this episode.
Okay.
Unless it's Let's Fight a Boss Improv Theater.
No.
What's the matter, guys?
Improv died last decade. We don't need to do this anymore. Do you know what? You know, like, it really, really sucks that, like, COVID is, like, closed down theaters and stuff. Improv theater, glad to see it gone. You know, fuck that.
All we do on this podcast is improv, Brian. It's the whole podcast.
No, we riff. It's a different thing. That's a skill.
Oh, Neve, you work in a small bakery when suddenly your coworker dies.
Oh no!
But just as you're about to call someone, the president, played by Brian, walks in. You have to hide the fact that your coworker's dead while he's dead on aisle 4. Brian's very hungry for a cronut, which are all on aisle 4. How do you navigate this situation? You don't want your bakery shut down.
Excuse me, I'm looking for it's a cross between a croissant and a donut. I believe they're called cronuts. I'm the president. Do you know where I could find them?
Mr. President, first of all...
No, the president.
Mr. the President.
No, the president.
The President. First of all, an honor. Second of all, you look like a man of taste. And cronuts, like, they're bad. Our cronuts are bad.
Are you sure? I think I see cronuts. It's near down there by the aisle where you can see the feet sticking out.
I'll be real with you, Mr. the President. I like
the president.
The President. I hate straight people, so I pissed in the cronut mixture.
Neve, I'm still alive. Call an ambulance. My heart.
Is your name Neve? That's my name. But please, call me the president.
I don't think you should have these cronuts, and I think you should definitely stay off this aisle. There has been a security breach.
Neve, for the love of God, call my wife. Get my medication.
I believe the cronut needs some medication.
And scene. Beautiful. Why do you guys hate doing that? We're so great at it.
I'm so worried I'm going to say something racist.
Okay. No. We'll have a little talk with Oni about that line.
I don't know. We're all playing Americans and a president. It could happen.
I'm just like, okay, I'm like, don't say anything bad. Say something funny. As I said, improv comedy needs to go.
Yeah. Guys, I've been listening to Limp Bizkit's 2000 album, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water.
Why?
Because it's good.
Okay.
But why now? Why today?
Because you watched the Fred Durst movie.
That's probably part of it. I was out at night and it was dark and I had some things to do and I was like, I need a soundtrack.
To your murder? Your night murder?
Why do you assume it's a murder? There's
nothing
murdery about what I just said.
Sometimes John's out at night and he comes to visit me and he's all sweaty.
Brian?
Yeah?
There's personal parts of this podcast that should remain off the air. It doesn't matter what I do at night. It's not important.
But whatever it is, Limp Bizkit is the perfect soundtrack for whatever you do at night.
To John's personal time at night.
I can understand.
Yeah.
Outdoors.
I guess, like, outside, like, putting on My Way at parties every couple of months and everyone getting really annoyed, I haven't, like, listened to Chocolate Starfish in probably,
15, 20 years. And I was kind of curious because Limp Bizkit is always one of those bands I hear people... You always hear people being like, yeah, I used to listen to Limp Bizkit. Like, I grew out of Limp Bizkit and all that kind of stuff. It's one of those very entry-level to metal kind of bands. And people always seem to very quickly move past it. I remember being in secondary school and like my entire class being into Limp Bizkit in like first and second year. And then by sixth year, everyone was listening to like The Frames, who I've still never heard and fucking don't care.
They're not.
Yeah, I bet it's some shitty dude with a guitar being like, I'll see you at the harbor. That's my impression of a Frames song.
Could you do a few more?
I'll see you at the harbor, Mary Beth. And maybe we'll look at the rain all the way to death. See you at the harbor. That's my Frames song. I thought it was pretty good.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, Limp Bizkit.
I hate music so much.
Oh, it's so bad, isn't it?
The worst.
Yeah. Except this album, which still fucking rules. It's so good.
Niamh, have you ever backed anything you regret on Kickstarter? Because I have too, but I just want to ask you first.
No, I've gotten everything. I've only kickstarted like art books.
But like they're all solid
They're
art
all
books.
lovely art
You never
books. They
felt-
all arrived mostly on time. The only game I've kickstarted is the Swery game.
The Good Life.
Yeah.
Okay. I've backed one or two games and the developer had to put out an announcement going, I don't know how to make this, I'm sorry.
Those are the real, like, I need $50,000 to make a video game.
And like I'm like, sure. I said keep the money, but if I ever see you at an artist alley, I'm gonna say my name to you.
That's so weird. What, like, I will say my name and you better remember it.
Yeah, they
So,
better.
like, they're on every artist alley being like, is Brian going to is this the
and
one?
like the thing is, I'm not gonna go. I'm never gonna go up to that person's desk or
So they're
table.
just waiting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fuck with them.
But, like, Brian, say, like, Mighty Number 9.
No, okay, so I backed Mighty Number 9, and I backed the Ouya. Okay.
Oh, I still have my
Do you have that? Do you have
Okay.
it in the house?
Yeah, he did. When we lived together, he had it.
Okay, so I backed Mighty Number 9. I played it for half an hour in 2014, 2015. Wait, 2016? I think it came out sometime at some point in the 2010s. I played it for half an hour and I was like, I hate this. And then 2 months later, it was free on PS Plus, and I was like, I really hate this.
So, Brian, you know the way Mighty Number 9 feels like? It just feels like a cheap, shitty game that like, nothing came together. It kind of feels half-assed. Like, the person at the center of it maybe didn't give a shit.
Keiji Inafune did not fucking care.
Yu Suzuki cares so much, and he has tried so hard, and with the resources he gathered, he did an incredible fucking job at putting together a technically competent open world game. It's absolutely everything else that's the problem. It's every decision he made, it's every philosophy he had, and I'm gonna stop talking about it.
Okay, so the Ouya.
The Ouya. I still have my Edge magazine that says Ouya, the future king of consoles.
I got the Ouya. It arrived, and I opened it up, and it said, "Thank you for believing."
Oh my god!
And I took it out, and it was fucking tiny. And then I took out the controller, and I like pressed my thumbs against it, and I was like, "Ew!"
The Stradivarius of controllers, Brian.
Like I put my thumb down into the buttons, and I could feel my skin being pinched.
Oh no!
And I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And then I didn't know how to put the batteries on, so I had to watch a YouTube tutorial. You have to like break open the controller face to put in a AA battery on either leg of the controller. I booted up the Ouya. It asked me to sign in, and I was like, I'll skip this for now. I kept skipping the sign in. I got an N64 emulator running on it, and I got Majora's Mask running on it, and the textures were loading, but I just had this awful feeling in the pit of my stomach where I was like, I'm going to play this for 2 hours, and I'm going to make some progress in this game. I'm going to turn on the Ouya the next day, and all of that's going to be wiped. And I just shelved it for 6 months. Then I put it up online on adverts.ie, and it had it. I think I backed that thing for like €90. Put it up on adverts for 100. Someone bought it right away.
From the very moment you mentioned Ouya, I said, I bet that he's going to mention the profit he made off it.
Oh, I know. I absolutely. I'm
Part of the deal, Brian.
I'm so glad I bought the Ouya because I made €10 off flipping that shit.
Oh God.
So there you go. There is some silver lining to this, like, condemning Kickstarter bullshit.
I'm gonna make some fucking money off shit.
It's the only thing. You just gotta fucking complain until you get some money out of it. It's the fucking Irish way.
Yeah.
In Halloween 3, the fictional town is a little Irish commune. So a completely Irish run
fucking
town.
mix. Jesus.
Fucking harps.
Oh God, I hate it when you're watching something you see an Irish person show up in it, and it's like, back in your box, you miserable fucking paddy.
Fucking paddy whackery.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys.
What's wrong?
What, you don't like paddy bashing?
No, I don't. So in this town, there is the Dublin Inn and the Rose of Shannon Motel, and they wheel out an American man. They wheel out an American man to do an Irish accent, and he runs the inn. And
one of them old Yanks.
He's just doing the worst Irish accent, but he's acting alongside an actual Irish guy with a real Irish accent, but he's still going
Neve,
for it.
could you do an impression of his Irish accent?
Top of the morning to you. Here we are at Rafferty's Inn.
Yeah, no, we're all happy to be here, Neve. Could you do an impression of the guy's Irish accent?
We've got new pipes in for the shower now. Grand and warm. Just full on Paddy Irish, but he's acting alongside a dude who's from Wexford.
I had a guy once, I don't remember what con this was, but he was like, I can do a really good Irish accent. This was like a fan I was meeting.
Oh no, don't.
And I was like, oh yeah?
Go ahead,
and
sir.
And he did it. And it was like, it sounded like an American doing an Irish accent. And I was like, that's really bad. And he was like really upset.
But it's really bad. Anytime you think you're doing an Irish accent, you're just not.
You're absolutely
You're just not doing. You're doing an American doing an Irish accent.
You're doing an American impersonating an Irish accent, also being done by an American actor.
Do you think maybe not this episode because we keep segueing or sidetracking it?
Oh, listen, the news section, there's fucking nothing. Let's segue away.
I just think maybe we should do Irish impressions of Irish people.
Okay, Brian, give me like an occupation, and I'll do it.
Asking, well, no, I want to be the Irish man.
Well, then you should have fucking said, I want to do an impression.
I don't want you to do an impression. I want to do the impression.
Yeah, I know. You should have just said it instead of raising this false idea where it's like, guys, why don't we all do like an impression of an Irish person? Not you, John. Not you, Neve. Just be like, I want to do
my turn.
Okay. A man from Skibbereen. You should do an impression of him.
No, Brian, just you go nuts.
Ask me for directions.
Sir, which way is the ice cream shop?
Okay, so you go left, right, and then you go right, left, right, and then you get down to the field. And if you've gone down that far, you've gone too far, right? Did you hear about the magic tractor? It turned into a field.
I find with, like, especially in Skib, but in a lot of places around Cork, when you ask someone in Cork, like, anything, like, where's the ice cream shop, they always sound kind of accused, so it's like, well, it's just down the street there.
Oh, sure, I would know that now. Jesus, tonight.
Sure, ice cream isn't good for you.
You can't be having ultra-right after 7. You dirty looking Aegis. You fucking gobshite, you. I'll give you a fucking clatter over the fucking hole.
Oh no.
The clatter over the hole.
Wow. Oh man.
Come here to me now, you little fucking bollocks, yeah.
I would not want that.
I'll fucking burst you.
I'll burst you, I will.
I'll burst you. What's your name? Eddie Murphy. That's a fine Irish name there now for you. Look at you with your fucking... Look at your gruig. You look brilliant. Look at you. You got your best fucking Gansey on. Aren't you a fucking star?
This is good. This is very Irish because it went from kind of casually insulting to casually complimenting all in like one go.
You look gorgeous, girl. You're gonna look fucking all cleaned up for the Debs.
That's true, Neve, but I also feel like I have had conversations like this.
Where are you from now? Where are you from?
Dublin.
Jesus! The big smoke! What the fuck are you doing up there? Where are you from? Girly?
Offaly.
And where's that now?
You have to call me a biffo if I say I'm from Offaly. Someone said that to me in real life. They were
biffo.
like, yo, you're a biffo. And I went,
Never heard that.
A big ignorant farmer from Offaly. That is what Brian Cowan was called. He was one of our Taoiseachs.
I got on a Dublin bus before and they were like, where are you from? And I was like, Offaly. And they were like, fuck's sake, Brian Cowan. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. I didn't make him.
When I was in Gib before in Cork, and these lads just came up to me and surrounded me, and they were like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Dublin." And they were like, "Oh shit, okay, sorry, we thought you were from Skull." Like basically just down the road compared to like across the country, and they wanted to kick the shit out of anyone from Skull. But if you were from further than Skull, you're fine.
Not
That's the
a
way.
problem.
I made friends with them when we hung out for the evening.
So that Irish town exists in Halloween 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in that Irish town, there's a man called Conal Corcoran. And he is played by Dan O'Hartley, who was an Irish actor, and this is how he's described on the wiki. Known for such roles as Conal Corcoran in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and Old Man in RoboCop.
Whoa.
A career. So he plays the antagonist, and his plan is to kill all the children
I'm liking it.
by selling them latex Halloween masks that they all wear, sit around the TV at 9 o'clock for a Halloween special, and the masks will all implode lasers on them that will make them burst with bugs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could we not just have made the television signal do it without the mask?
Yeah.
But see, the kids need to wear masks because it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. It's the season of the witch.
And it's got the best jingle as well, doesn't it?
And yeah, it's Silver Shamrock's mask.
Five more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Like that, isn't it?
That's it exactly. So it's kind of like the fear of kind of consumption and messaging in media, but done from an evil Irish man who runs an evil Irish town.
You can just say Irish man, you like they're all awful.
But this guess what the object of power is? It's a piece of Newgrange, which is not in Ireland.
No.
They took it.
They took it. They brought it to California to kill the kids.
Just some weird shitty clock made by druids thousands of years ago.
Brian, I feel like that's a really harsh assessment of Newgrange. There was some engineering behind that.
Yeah, one day a year. On the fucking winter solstice.
You know what? You bring up a good point. That is a shitty clock.
Like, what the Greeks? They got that shit way better. They got that shit locked down. The fucking druids, what the fuck are they doing? Their fucking Ohm script. What the fuck is that?
We're taking no prisoners this episode. Just
fuck them. They're shitty ancestors, a lot of them. And like the Americans listening are gonna be like, well, there are ancestors too.
No, they're fucking not. Well, I mean, they are. But
Yeah,
they're not
they
really.
are. They're not really. There are a problem.
So
I'm so sorry.
there's also robot henchmen, but like
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Tough shit, everybody.
John says no.
John says no.
What's like a shit band? Like a popular shit band that you like?
A popular shit band. Brian, I feel like
John.
I'm having trouble interpreting like
John, do you like Coldplay? Do you like Ed Sheeran?
No, I don't like Cole. You know what? I really fucking don't like Ed Sheeran at all. At fucking all, because he's just this generation's sad man with guitar. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, sad, incredibly rich fucking man that everyone likes. Are things a little difficult? Do you have to write a little sad song on your guitar to eschew the fucking virtues of being this giant celebrity that everyone fucking worships? But did you have a shitty day, Ed?
John, could you do your Ed Sheeran impression?
Like a song?
Yeah.
I've got all this money, but I'm poor without you. The day ain't so sunny, because I feel like my life is through.
yeah.
It's like your hair turned ginger for a second.
Yep.
Let's go.
you feel like with TV these days, you're kind of working towards something all the time. But like these episodes have so much happening every time. Like a gay character gets introduced, that whole episode is that won't be touched on much again. Like Ryan, they will have an aunt who will appear. She'll be there for 2 episodes and cause drama and then disappear. Like so much shit happens.
I forgot how TV used to work like that.
Yeah. It's like, I saw a tweet, I'm sorry for mentioning a tweet, but I saw a tweet recently that said there could be a TV show called Surfing Vampire, and the whole series would be about him getting his board, with only 10 minutes to him actually surfing. But older TV, you would have the surfing happen all the time. It would just be a surfing vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you can cut my surfing vampire thing.
Well, now we gotta leave it in.
Is surfing vampire actually the example they give?
I can't remember. I think so. I didn't explain it well. It doesn't matter. Either way.
I really like surfing vampire.
Yeah, me too.
Because he can't go out during the day, and that's when the best waves are, bro.
Shit!
He can only go out at night.
Oh, he has such a tragic but beautiful existence.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we could request some surfing vampire? Brian, sorry, would you be able to do just a little surfing vampire for us?
No.
You have to say hang 10 like a...
Like a Transylvanian vampire. I'm shit at vampire accents.
Really?
You can only do robot vampires.
I don't know. Is it like blah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at those waves.
Oh. Okay. What the fuck was that?
That's a terrible vampire, Brian. Try again.
Oh, no.
It's a very Irish vampire.
Sorry, my brain is gone today. Okay.
Would you look at that wave? Random.
Our Jesus, we're going to get scorched in the sun if we go out now.
Did it?
Blah, look at the waves today.
I like that every sentence of his has to start with
blah. Well, yeah, because he drew blood somewhere. I want to surf these waves.
There, another iconic fictional character created by the Let's Fight a Boss video game podcast.
I'm too tired tonight.
Sounds like the OC's a real time.
It is a real time.
But then, like, now it's like, I think I need to... This is how I move past this.
Yeah, I like how you go from, like, I will die with this secret to I'll tell everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's either one or the other.
John, you've told plenty of embarrassing stories, especially this year. You know, there's...
Oh, I don't think this is even the most embarrassing story this year. I shouldn't have parked, Wooly.
He had food poisoning and had to just dump ass real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Now, like, I can send you the full 12-minute version if you want. It does end the way I just said, but it was a whole saga.
Right to it, then.
Yeah.
A lot of strange stuff happens in that park. Like last week, John and I were going for a walk.
Oh my fucking god!
And so
I forgot about. Okay.
So I took a photo of John walking ahead because I held back. I took a photo, but it's a big wide shot, like the big vastness of the park. And often the kind of like left middle ground of the photograph is just a woman like Junji Itoing into a tree.
So
she's like
what?
like
so
she's found a crevice.
Tree, and she has like, okay, imagine like put your hands up like someone with their like a hold up, someone with their hands in the air, but imagine them facing a tree and like pressing into it.
Oh god.
Brian has a photo of her, and like me and Brian were walking.
She's stretching out, right?
No, she wasn't moving.
Like, it was a very relaxed pose, Neve.
Okay.
Brian has a photo of her.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's like planking into that
Yeah,
tree.
hang on. Is that the other one there? Yeah.
So zoom in.
That hole is made for her.
It really
It's like she's trying to listen to the heartbeat of the tree.
Oh, that's
And it was
weird.
because her face is inside the tree.
And like me and
It's in the
Brian
hollow.
were talking about something, and then like as we kind of approach, the conversation just kind of fades off, and we're like,
So I have a very specific like hatred and like queasiness brought on by the idea of no clip in real life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. So
like a real glitch in the
life
Matrix.
needs-
Yeah. So like Amigara Fault, terrifying, right? That's. But even worse than that is there's no hole and you're still going in, and like so that idea of like that tree is just a straight tree and
She's just phasing.
I can't. I don't like that. Massively uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think what I was scared of is that we were going to see her doing that and be like, that's fucking weird. Walk like 20 more meters and see 4 or 5 people doing it, and then like hundreds of people doing it.
Yeah.
And then we're in the fucking cult.
Yeah,
That's how it starts.
Oh dear.
But, that was a trip.
Nice distraction from you shitting, by the way. Excellent dodge on that. That was
Okay, Wooly, you're new to this podcast, so I'm just going to tell you, I don't dodge shit. I took a shit in the park. I made a call. I did what was best for me. I have gotten such praise for being so brave about that.
People emailed in and were like, "Yeah, I get it."
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
Yeah. But
I feel like that's the reaction is like, everyone's got a shit in themselves story. I can't say that I do.
It'll happen.
No,
it happens to the best of us. It'll happen to you.
It's happened to me twice at least. But this was an instance where I avoided it. It's like character development, Wooly.
So wait, hold on, Neve, are we in the no shitting outside club?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
This sounds crazy to me. I'm like,
Fan of
what's
that.
with your diet?
Okay, cool. Like, I will say that's a club I really used to enjoy and respect, and then one day reality happened, so both of you look forward to that.
It's like the No Broken Bone Club on Reddit kind of thing. Okay, there's a subreddit dedicated to people who've never broken a bone.
Just really lucky and really careful, or just...
No, everyone who has broken a bone is weak, Brian. Weak little brittle-boned, no-milk babies.
I've never broken a bone. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, as a member of the No Broken Bone Club, we are just like, our bones are thicker.
Okay, I have been completely 180'd, and I now agree. We are the superior
But
beings.
if you break a bone, like people like upload their X-rays, and they're just like, "I'm sorry, guys, I fucked up. I gotta leave." They're like, "Get out of here, brittle bones."
The run's broken.
Yeah.
I just lowering down on calcium too much, man, and this is what happens.
I played American football as a kid. I had no chance to join this club ever.
It's true.
Yeah. The Pee-wee broken
I think mine are just like rubber. I used to fall out of trees, and I had a lot of bruised bones and bruised ass bones specifically, but never any broken ones.
Do you drink your milk?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She loves her milk.
There you go.
At one point there was,
Oh yeah.
There's a whole other chapter of lore where Neve is the milk girl.
And she said, "I wanted to be the cool milk friend." Was her reasoning behind
we did a mukbang for
a
Patreon thing ages ago, and Neve was super committed to drinking chugging a pint of milk.
Yeah, it was.
No, but you can't.
And then she got pretty close.
Your body won't let you.
Well, before she started laughing,
I know, but it's just I feel like I didn't have a thing. Everyone has a thing.
You needed a thing.
And I was just and I got to milk.
I mean, it's kind of like the cinnamon challenge. It's like everyone takes it, but your body just doesn't want to.
No, the body shouldn't take that much cinnamon on at once.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Same result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then
was it at least? Wait, I have more questions.
Okay. Yep.
Was it at least? Was it under a tree? Was it in a brush? Was it on the path?
An alcove.
Yeah, it was a little alcove I went into. I don't want to go into too much detail because I did tell this
Oh no! Do you know what? Okay.
No, I just want surface.
You know what? Look, you know what? You don't want to hear this shit again? Then just fucking fast forward. We're not going to give you a timestamp.
I don't need the whole story.
I'd really like to tell you my perspective, because there was one day I was going to town to run some errands, and I bumped into John, and he took me 10 minutes out of my way to show me where he took the shit.
Okay. Your selection process on the area, at the very least.
That's how we'll do it. Brian and then me will tell you our perspective of John's story.
Okay, that's the fresh take.
Okay. I'm just gonna say I'm a little reluctant to get Neves because she didn't have a perspective. I never showed her. I would, but.
Okay, so about 10 minutes after he took the shit, he was the first one to tell me. He told me before Michelle for some reason. And he told me like he knew how he was gonna, he told it to me like a YouTube video, he had it broken down, and I could read it in his YouTube voice, this happened.
Oh, I'm going back and forth. There's not much more anime to talk about,
It was very eloquent the way he described
the time.
Yeah.
My bowels failed me.
It was absolutely that. There was a lot of weighty pauses to this story, and I was like, okay, you're feeling okay now, and you described that you looked at your reflection, and it wasn't the same person anymore, but he was paler. Because
he was paler, like a little lighter.
Yeah, and then a couple of days after, when we all went for drinks, and you still had the food poisoning, and you were very shook.
Yeah.
But that's when I took the photo of you beside the tiny bicycle. So there's some context for that. Niamh.
Oh, you're gonna tell how?
So same, it's where Brian's story picks off, where like it leaves off where we're going for drinks together. This is my first time going for food since all of COVID happened. It's been exactly 2 years of being inside, and I have not done anything with my friends. I haven't done anything in just gone to a restaurant, and it was this slice of normality. And I remember like dressing up with my girlfriend, and we were doing a little bit of matching, and we looked really cute, and we walked in the sun, and we met Brian and his partner and John and his partner, and we were walking in the sun, and I was just like, I'm so happy that I'm here and that we're all together. And John comes up to me as we're going to cross the road, and he goes, Niamh, I shit in the park. And I was just like,
oh, hey John.
I was like, what? And he was just like, Niamh, I need to tell you something. I shit in the park. And I was like, do you? And in my head, I'm like, do you have to?
Niamh, okay, first of all,
do you have to tell me?
He's real proud of what he makes.
No, there is a little bit of horseshit happening here. Niamh, you laughed so fucking hard. If you could say funny. You could say whatever you want.
That was like
but
the outside of my body had to expel a noise, and it went to laughter, but the inside of my body went, what?
Well, the inside of his body actually. Okay, was there a thought or an attempt towards
not shitting in a park?
No.
Okay.
Post-release
that weird
cleanliness.
Yeah.
Was there an attempt to salvage?
I don't want to go too in detail here, okay? But like Wooly, you have to understand, I was fighting this off for maybe like an hour and 10 minutes, okay?
Are you about to say that the force that you came out with meant you didn't have to?
You see, Wooly, it was like...
He had to lie down in the grass, from what I remember.
Like, Wooly, there were several moments where, like, I was trying to get home, and I had to lie down because my body was so shaky and sweaty, and I had to let the pressure just kind of calm down.
Wow.
That is the just the kinetic energy that was building.
Wooly, I'm reading here, one line of the passage is, my ass was throbbing.
Okay.
And so, you have to understand, this was not, like, your everyday level of pressure and force.
Yes.
Okay. There was immense power to this.
Okay, and thus it actually ends up being cleaner because of how quickly it is leaving.
Okay,
the body.
Here's what I'll tell you. It's cleaner than shitting yourself.
Okay, well there's that.
And
that's true.
That's everyone who judges me on this. Everyone who's like, John, that's so fucking weird. What would you have done? What would you have done? Like, lay out your foot. I'm not talking to any of you guys here because I think you all secretly understand. But to you, who's like, I can't believe John did that. What would you fucking do, buddy? Like, lay out your fucking genius blueprint plan to get yourself out of this situation. I know what my body can handle. I had food poisoning. I was cursed. I was in a bad situation, and I made the best of it. And I challenge any of you to say you would have done any differently. And if you think you would, if you genuinely think you had a way out of this that I didn't see, then I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I hope you fucking shit yourself.
This is a video game podcast?
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome Wooly to Let's Find a Boss.
Well, glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to,
It's a real normal time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that I would have had any other options in the circumstances described. I don't even know the story. I'm just saying, I'm finding out that John shit himself or shit in a park, and I'm gonna fucking enjoy that.
Well, no, they're both true. I have also shit myself, but that was not this time.
Okay.
You can't hide from your demons, Wooly.
It's like Babadook 2.
Yeah.
But you can find a spot to release them.
When it's just away from people enough, and like you look left and right, and
damn, wow, okay.
Is that good wine?
Come to mummy.
This is the final prediction.
Okay.
We will crown a new galactic champion of hopes and dreams.
And we didn't.
We didn't. John said yes. Brian, you said no. Niamh, you said no.
Yes!
I was actually going to suggest part-time UFO, and I forgot.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I cannot be beaten. Oh my god, this is like too easy for me now. Oh my god, I'm just that good at video games.
How do you feel, Neve?
Good, yeah. It's my birthday week. I'm still the queen. Church of the Nameless. Those babies got nothing.
It's a real ass gamer right here.
Yeah, milk cult forever. We just doing it.
That milk river is flowing.
It always flows back to mama.
I have a taste in my mouth.
Have you thought about anyone for your co-queen?
Brian.
Oh, thanks, Neve.
Brian, will you be my co-queen?
I'd be honoured. I'd love to help with the teat.
Okay. Well, I feel like I have grown up a lot in the last year, and I just want to say I'm very happy for you both.
Thanks, John.
It is like kind of annoying because it's like if those last 2 questions weren't there, I would have had it.
That's really not how these things work.
That's like playing a fighting game and like you're doing really well and then you don't.
Yeah, it's like if this ended halfway, I would have won.
Yeah, totally. It's annoying because like
you nearly had it. This was your closest.
I know, yeah.
Even though last year it was a tie, but this felt closer because you were in the lead for so long.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so irritating because if those last 2 questions were maybe some kind of illusion.
Oh, you sick fucker. Are you serious?
There was no Resident Evil 3 question. There was no Galactic Champion of Hopes and Dreams. Which means the final score is John 9, Brian 6, and Neve 8.
Oh my god!
John, that's
what
so
the
mean.
Hell?
Is this
Oh
what
my
you
God.
people want?
Oh my god, this is our fault, Brian. We never listened back to this fucking episode ever.
I don't listen to the podcast.
And you lost. You lost, and now I get to crown my king, the person I wanted to win this. I get to forego everything and crown them the leader of Let's Fight a Boss. And together, me and this person will bring this podcast into a terrible, beautiful new era.
John, not too loud. You're scaring my hedgehog.
Okay, I'm done. Would you like me to reveal who this person is?
Is it
Because
you,
I have a
John?
video message from them right here.
What are you doing?
And I can't say... I think the majority of people who listen to this podcast will be familiar with who this person is.
Oh my god, what have you done? What have you done?
Oh, you're so weird, John. That's a cool wallpaper.
Thank you, it's One Piece. Would you like to see your new ruler?
What have you done?
It was me, Neve. It was me all along.
I was the nameless one, and no one knew, and everyone's shocked. I've done it. I've become the king of this podcast, and you let it happen. You both let it happen, and I win, 21, and I'll win every year after this.
Obviously, it was you.
Everyone's so shocked.
I was like, oh man, who did he get? Like H
Yeah.
Bomber guy?
Yeah, I thought he was going to get someone interesting.
Like, is it Abby Giant Bomb finally?
I thought it was going to be Wooly or something. I like Wooly. Like, I'm not a big fan of John.
Oh my god, you little shit.
Brian and Eve both get pretty annoyed when people are mean to me.
Yeah, no, don't.
Which you wouldn't think from listening to this podcast.
No, like honestly, like if someone's mean to my friends, I get pissed. Really bothers me and doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think we all kind of feel a bit like that as well. Like I think if one of us is getting shit, I don't know. I just
It brings out my mom energy.
yeah.
You have to bring out.
Shh, we don't talk about.
Yeah. Never mind.
In the early days of John's videos, I had an alternate account that used to fight with people who I thought were too mean to John. I've retired.
Do you remember?
I don't need to do
you
it
probably
anymore.
don't remember this, but years ago we kind of had a conversation, and you said something like, it was really sweet. Like, you were very sweet. You were like, I just want to protect you from these stupid idiots, and I was like, Neve, there's literally too many, and you can't, and you have to stop. And it was like sad.
Yeah.
There's too many now.
Oh yeah. I'm fine. I don't need protecting. I have learned to protect myself from this stuff.
And it's just something that goes with YouTube. You know, YouTube comments are what they are.
But it's weird to kind of go from a normal friend reaction you would have and just be like, oh God, it's me against a wave of voices. It's not just one dickhead picking on my friend that you can go be like, hey, what's up with that? You know, it's like it's a wave of it that you just can't do anything about. And that's sometimes sad to see. Like, I don't like when people say mean things about anyone I know.
Yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
Don't have a YouTuber for a friend. It's very emotional.
Yeah. No, don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it.
And do a podcast with caution. I really need to emphasize it.
Don't do a podcast with someone who a year later is going to become a YouTuber.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Because then you just get locked in.
Yeah.
What's the really sad song that plays in Red Dead Redemption 2?
I don't know. There's many.
You know the one that plays right at the end when you're on your horse?
Yeah.
And you get in all your flashbacks and stuff?
I don't know the name of it.
Can I... It's kind of like...
Could you sing it?
Yep, sure. When we were it's kind of like that.
Sounds like a sad cowboy song.
You're gonna have to hang up that saddle.
And that hat.
And that hat. And them spurs. You're just gonna have to walk into the great beyond. Trotting.
Where you're going, no horse can take you.
You've yeed your last haul.
Come on, Neve.
There's gold in them mountains.
What do you want from me?
Cowboy line.
Do some sad cowboy stuff.
Sad cowboy stuff.
I don't know. I'm in like cosmic body horror mode.
Not anymore,
You can't just bring me back to the West.
Hang on. A cowboy is riding through the field, and boom, he's just ran into a big patch of purple goo that's taken him over. What does he say?
Oh no, I'm goo.
Oh, tarnation, I got goo on me. Oh, boy.
Well, Trigger, looks like we're in trouble. Trigger, no!
I have no bits on me at all. I'm bit free since 93. I'm going to enjoy my 7-Up and rum, and you can enjoy your... Well, no, it is filtered water, but you know.
Oh, that's good. So, listener, basically what happened here was that me and Brian came in, and Brian brought us over, I would say, 2 very small glasses of water. Not to get like pedantic about this, but they are rather small.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah. And then fixed himself. What do you got there, Brian?
It is 7-Up. Actually, it's Diet 7-Up, because sugar-free soft drinks are cheaper.
Why are they cheaper, Brian?
Because of the sugar tax.
Okay, sorry, continue.
And I have some Malibu, which is a coconut-based rum.
You got some ice in there, too.
Well, yeah, it's got to be cold.
Yeah, no ice for me and Neve.
No.
Neve,
you drank all your water too fast.
Neve, that was meant to do you for the next 2.5 hours.
I'm not made of water, Neve. What are you going for?
I just figure I'm all out of water.
Doesn't grow on trees, Neve.
All that's left is rum. I might need a glass, Brian.
I'll make you a glass at the intermission.
Thanks.
Yeah, good and loose for that strategy talk.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are only at the beginning of this, and you've drank your water. I
was parched. I literally ran here. I didn't.
No, you
no,
did.
That's not
You
that's
never
not
ran.
Have you ever ran, Neve?
I can't remember the last time I've ran. No, I honestly can't remember the last time I've ran anywhere. Probably up and down a hall of a hotel, because that's fun.
Oh, that is the best. Yeah. Remember before, like right before the pandemic started, like the weekend of, I was in a hotel for a wedding, and it was empty. It was completely empty, and it was really spooky and cool.
Hell yeah!
I ran up and down those halls so
It's
fast.
never not fun. It's the thing you don't grow out of it.
Speaking of running, I have a query, we'll say. I was out for a run recently, and I felt something kind of weird happen. And does like an encounter ever happen, and you're like, that was a little strange, and then the further away you get from it, the more you're like, that was very, very strange.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not me. I lead a simple life.
Oh, wow, I envy that. Okay, so I was out running, and I guess, Brian, you've seen the kind of gear I run in.
Oh yeah. I took a good look last time I saw you. Niamh, it is so tight.
So what is your outfit?
It's like, okay.
You know in Simpsons when Flanders is like, looks like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Flanders!
It's like that in
sexy
black.
Flanders outfit?
I have shorts over it because I don't want people staring at my butt. But yeah, because if you go on like long runs, if you wear a t-shirt, you're going to get chafed.
He's wearing like a transparent wetsuit.
It's not transparent.
It's got like black mesh, and if you look real close, you could see.
You cannot, Brian. That was your imagination.
Is there a boob window?
There's no
like
boob window. No, it's just.
It is
okay,
kind of it's kind of like a vest.
They're called compression tops.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They're just. I started wearing them in jiu-jitsu, and I was like, wow, you can just exercise all day in these and not chafe at all. And they are snug. Like they're snug.
Nothing at all.
And I like wearing them because they're comfy, and you don't get a lot of the weird problems you get. We're getting very hung up on a minor detail here.
John
okay?
really likes the pressure on his chest.
That doesn't have to be a bad thing.
No, it doesn't. It's fine if she wants to step on you.
It's a look. So you're basically jogging in a wetsuit with some shorts over it.
I want to say that's an exaggeration. It is perhaps not.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm jogging, and I'm having a fucking great time. I've gotten really into running. Like, running sucks for like the first 20 minutes, but then like your pain reciprocators just give up and they just stop, and it's just you and white noise, and you zone the fuck out. And
sorry, John, but you're enjoying this run, right?
Yes.
How firm are your nipples?
I don't want to answer that. I don't know.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
10 being like very, very firm.
It was like kind of cold.
Okay, so like you know those door catchers, and you kind of like
no
with the coil spring.
Yeah. So we're saying around a 6.
Before this podcast, I was like, I have a story to tell, but I don't know if I should tell it. And now I wish I could go back in time and be like, don't tell it. But we're in it now. Okay.
That's fine, John.
So I'm about 15 minutes into the run. I am entering the zone.
The hard zone.
The Emerald Drift.
I don't know how you knew I called it the hard zone, but well done. And the song Heat, Haze, Shadow from Tekken 7 comes on my playlist, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is perfect. This is great. And then, like, I just get a weird feeling. You know, you get that where it's like, shit, I think, is someone watching me? And I look to the side, and cycling, like, what's the parallel to me is a young man on a bicycle, and he's, like, looking at me dead in the eye, and he's kind of smiling. And my first thought is, like, oh, it's a Super Eye Patch Wolf fan. And so I kind of...
don't flatter yourself, John.
That happens more than you would think. And I take down my headphones, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I'm kind of just expecting like the typical. And he's like, hey. And then he was like, so notice you're wearing a jiu-jitsu top.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, yeah, because I'm using the same top that I use in jiu-jitsu, and it's got like my jiu-jitsu logo on the back. And he's like, yeah. Do you do much of that kind of with the lockdown and stuff? And I was like, no, it's a pandemic. You can't get.
Are you jogging?
I am still jogging.
Okay, you're jogging, and I am not cycling
yes,
slowly.
and I am not stopping.
Okay,
for several different, very important reasons.
Okay.
And he starts like asking about like classes and stuff, and I'm like, what? And he starts talking about like he mentions now, like, you know, I am running, and, you know, the wind is going by. I'm running quite fast. I can't make out everything he's saying, and he's kind of mumbling a little bit. Like, I feel like there is some part of him that is like I don't know. He doesn't seem like 100% confident.
Yeah.
You know? He mentioned something about like jujitsu in the park. And I was like, what? And I'm like, and I'm like, sorry, do you mean like that there's someone who holds jujitsu classes in the park? And he's like, he kind of says something that doesn't make sense. And then he's like, is that something you would be up for? And I'm like, no, like I really want to go back to jiu-jitsu, but I'm going to wait till the pandemic's over. And he's like, oh, okay. And then there's a silence of about 10 seconds where I am running and he is beside me. And then he goes like, I hope this wasn't like disrespectful. And I was like, what? And he was like, you know, I didn't mean to cause any offense or like, you know, just anything like that. And I was like, no, what do you mean? Because like, in my mind, I just had a conversation about jiu-jitsu and I love jiu-jitsu. It's great, you know?
John Homeboy was talking in code.
And so then anyway, he he apologizes like 4 more times. Like he's really, really sorry. And I'm like, what? I don't care. Like, yeah, it was a little awkward. It wasn't like intrusive or weird or anything. And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to go. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll see you at a tournament sometime or something. And he kind of just looks back at me and cycles off. And I'm like, well, that was very strange. And I'm running, and then I'm kind of like, does your mind ever go like backwards and like try and decode conversations you just had? And I was like, oh my God, I think that guy was asking, would I show him jiu-jitsu in the middle
park
of Phoenix Park? Like this complete stranger. I think like that's about as much as I can decode from what he said directly.
You were totally cruised.
Yeah, dude was making a pass.
Yeah. And then when he was saying sorry, he probably was waiting for you to kind of confirm one way. He's just like, he'll get it. Yeah, this is like the verbal equivalent of kicking you under the table. And you're like, why are you kicking me? I love jiu-jitsu.
Did you not want to do BJJs in the bushes?
We can't be 100% sure that that's what he meant.
Oh, it is absolutely what he meant. Totally.
The fact that, like, he looked back at you as he cycled away, like, catch you at the class.
No. That look was a kind of like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like you soured his experience with that bit.
Oh.
That poor young man.
Yeah, John, that took a lot.
Well, like, I appreciate him, you know. I appreciate that he had the confidence to, like, shoot a shot, but it's a pandemic.
It is. Worst aspect of being a dog walker is your dog running in on 2 people having sex in a bush.
How many times has that happened?
At least 4. I know.
There's so many bushes
and you're sure
in the
they
park.
weren't just like...
no, full
you're
on.
sure they weren't doing jiu-jitsu? Neve, it can look very similar.
It's very naked jiu-jitsu.
I really
that's a subtype.
I really like that Dublin has double-decker buses, because if you get on the top floor of the double-decker bus and look in a Phoenix Park as you go by, you see a lot of bare bottoms. because they go down by the bushes by the monument, because they think nobody can see them.
I don't think I've ever seen people
Brian
have sex.
can see them.
I can see everything. I see all the bottoms.
Oh, just like walking by people's windows, people are very naked in their front rooms a lot of the time. And
Do you
you're
know
like,
what?
Oh, God.
Maybe I have seen it and I'm just like, wow, it's cool that they'd wrestle like that.
Wow, that guy sure is murdering her.
So long, Bowser.
Thank you for listening to us for 6 years.
Neve, end on a like kind of, was it like a kind of poignant, poetic note, but make it like kind of a little bit about like how fun the episode was, but also a little sadness that it's over. But then apply that to a kind of universal sense, and maybe make it like a little, maybe get a little geopolitics in there.
Neve, have it genuine, but do keep it on brand.
Yeah, but like not genuine that's going to make people sad.
Pee pee poo poo.
That's some contemporary hard-hitting...
I'm the Yoko Ono of this podcast. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Pee-poo me you. John, your turn to do a little plop.
Squeeze one out for the end. For the
Yeah.
road.
Go on.
I don't like it's
John,
Just,
clap
let me please
those-
cut the episode. Please just cut it.
John.
Just fade the music in. Just get rid of this. I don't like this.
Clap those cheeks together. Make
Brian,
a
you've
happy
started saying
noise.
clap those cheeks so much.
I'm gonna make you burst tonight. You're my happy boy. Johnny and Neve holding hands against the world. We're all gonna transform into the moon tonight.
That's so beautiful.
Someone has to be the moon. We take turns. Isn't that how it works? I don't know how the world works.
When you're going to bed tonight and you look up in the moon, just imagine an amalgamation of Brian's mind and John's face smiling back to you in a kind of pained way, but in a genuinely joyful
No one's hearing any of this because Oni cut when I asked him to cut.
Okay, only you can fade into music now. Thank you.